Ahem. All right. Hey, hi, hello. My name is Jakeb Livengood, and this isn't my first rodeo, but it kinda is. So, welcome to Living Good with Jakeb Livengood. This is episode one of my own individualized podcast. I've guest featured on probably, no exaggeration, 80 podcasts so far in my life. So, it's not new, but being it that it's my own podcast, now we're delving into new areas. But a little bit about myself. I'm a 7-year serial entrepreneur. I had a tech startup. I exited said company. I've done e-commerce. I've built 3 personal brands to a cumulative 735,000 followers. These are just to name a few of the things. I rebuild cars, buy them totaled, fix them up, and drive them for a while and then sell them for profit, just for fun, because I like cars. So there's a lot of nuance to me as an individualized character, and that's not even covering the whole kit and caboodle there, right? I'm just touching highlight points. But this podcast is gonna go over so many things, right? And it's gonna be like I've been thinking about it. I'll be real honest, guys. Okay, I have procrastinated. I've honestly failed myself, but there's no point in looking back in the past and feeling bad about it. But it is currently September 27th, the date of recording this. We're deep into the fourth quarter of the year and about 33% into it. And this was one of my obligations and goals for the year was to start my podcast. I wanted 100 episodes by the end of the year. We're coming into the 10th month and I'm filming episode one. So like I procrastinated it and it's because I wanted it to be perfect. And then one day I was like, wait a second. No, it doesn't have to be perfect actually. It's actually probably better if it's not perfect and it kind of sucks to start off because then you get to see the progression as it evolves. But one of the things that was holding me back was I was thinking about like, okay, who's my target audience? What's the demographic of people that are going to be talking and listening to this, right? Because I'm going to be talking about my life, my hobbies, the hero's journey, faith, God, Jesus Christ. I'm going to be talking about conspiracy theories, politics. I'm going to be having entrepreneurial leaders on. We're going to be having deep spiritual conversations. We're going to be talking about drugs, partying, all sorts of different things, right? We're going to touch many different rabbit holes. And I was like, well, you know what? I don't think I can really put a label on the type of individual that's going to watch this other than one of my 1,000 true fans, the people that really just want to see me as a internet personality, as a media personality grow and evolve. Plus, as I continue to grow, scale, and evolve, the people that are this is going to stay up, right? So people will come back and watch this just as like I still have my first YouTube video up from early 2018, which is like so cringy. I've rewatched it and I'm like, I want to delete it, but I also don't want to delete it for that very reason. And so, yeah, man, there's going to be a lot that we're going on about. This one's sort of more of just like an intro to me and the podcast, and there's not going to be a whole lot of value in this one. It's kind of awkward, honestly, like first episode of a new podcast. And what's funny is a lot of the people watching this on initial reach is going to be people that have been following me for a long time, right? That know me already. So they're not really learning anything new. But let's talk about my life and process, summarize it up real quick, real brief, so that you can really get an idea of, in future episodes, how I will be able to provide value and merit and to the hero's journey and help you grow and evolve through entrepreneurship, personal development, and building your dreams into tangible, actual reality, right? So, graduated high school in 2015, took a year off, just decided to be a schmuck and not really do anything. Come 2017, I decided, all right, I'll do this. Okay, I'm going to college, and I was on a full ride honor scholarship studying business management. And then I was like, wait a second, hold on, this sucks. I'm kind of being doled down to be a cog in the matrix. So I dropped out and then it delved into partying, raving, drugs, that whole escapade of life, and you know, got deep into it. Kind of lost myself, started falling to self-loathing and hate, and I was disaffected by a lot of the seven deadly sins. Come 2018, I sort of had an awakening, and I was like, wait a second, if I chart this out long enough, my life is going to hell in a handbasket. And so I decided to make those fundamental changes in my life. And I was like, I actually became quite delusional. And I was like, I'm going to become a multi-millionaire through the internet. I'm going to sell things online and I'm going to build a personal brand about what I'm doing. And I'm going to scale that up and I'm going to be like Logan Paul at the time is who I was looking up to. Logan Paul, Jake Paul, they were big viners. I was a viner in high school. I don't think I mentioned that, but never like super big. I peaked out at 11,000 followers when the platform disappeared, but pretty big up there. I was known in high school for being a viner. Anyways, back on track. 2018, I moved into my parents' basement, dropped out of college, quit partying, quit all that stuff. And I was like, look, I'm going to do this. $3,500 to my name. My parents thought I was absolutely crazy. They're like, you need to get a real job. You need to go back to college. You need to do something of merit for the world. And I was like, look, trust me. Trust me. I'm going to do this. Come around 2019, 2020, just kept my head down, working, grinding, and I turned my $3,500 into almost $350,000 of gross sales on the back of Amazon FBA. And you turn $3,500 into well more than that. All of a sudden, you start gaining traction. People start paying attention. My biggest month being $35,000. People were like, "Wait a second, hold on, this whole little internet thing's actually working. It's crazy." At the same time, I said I was building a personal brand and trying to become a media personality and do social media. I was documenting everything, all my purchases, how I was running the business very authentically. And that had scaled up. And I had got about 15,000 followers cumulatively across all my brands. At which point, come 2020, the big C word hit. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on this platform. I don't know how censorship works on this platform because I'm new, but I know that on TikTok and YouTube, you can get in big no strikes for it. So, you know what it is. All right. So 2020 comes around. I got noticed through the internet by a founder of a company that had just raised VC funds and brought on to the founding team of the company. I scaled it up to 1.4 million followers over the course of the next 2 years, 1.5 years, 1.75 years. Scaled it up and then ended up exiting the company when we were at a $15.5 million valuation. Moved back into my parents' house now, okay? Now we're 24 and a half years old, coming back, ground zero, starting over. But actually not ground zero because now we're coming from experience and we're coming from the point where now my personal brands cumulatively have now amassed to about 520,000 followers. And then over the next year, continue to build digitally and build my personal brands and do social media and stuff. And sort of got complacent a little bit. Found myself obese come January of 2023, 246 pounds and 34.5% BMI. Stepped on a scale, realized I was clinically obese, and then decided once again, okay, I've been doing this thing for almost 7 years, and maybe I'm not even trying as hard as I possibly should be or could be. So I doubled down. I went on to go do the Live Hard program, structured and formatted and created by Andy Frisella, founder of First Form, and crushed it. Ended up my Live Hard journey after year one at 192 pounds and 18.5% BMI, absolutely shredded. I have abs now. I'm fit. Okay, come now 2024. Like I said, I'm over 750,000 followers across my brands. I have my e-commerce venture. I'm launching a mastermind with a couple of my buddies cumulatively between us. We have over 30 years of business experience where we're going to help level 0 and level 1 entrepreneurs come to understand their dreams and what it is that they want to do with their lives, and then help them build the systems, habits, disciplines, and break their limiting beliefs in their own mind so that they can actually actualize those things. It's going to be a mastermind group. It's coming very soon. We'll actually have everybody on a podcast here soon. And so now we're in 2024. It's quarter 4 right now, closing out. Big things have happened, but so that's the summizing of my entrepreneurial story up to this point. I'm just a guy who thinks I can do anything almost to a delusional level. And what's crazy is, I think so hard that I can do anything that I just keep doing it and it doesn't work. And then I just keep doing it and then it doesn't work. And then I just keep doing it until it does work. and then I learn something, and then I can actually teach other people that. And I've done that with several different mediums: personal branding, Amazon FBA, e-commerce through the backs of Amazon. Like it's I believe that if you believe you can do something, it's in the Bible too. I don't know the exact scripture. I really need to get better at understanding scriptures. But he who believes he can and he who believes he can are both right. So that's where we're at. And there's a couple other highlights of stories in there. Like in 2022, I went on and traveled the country, hit 3 different states, spoke at 2 different Bitcoin conferences. Well, not Bitcoin specifically, but blockchain. And then got to advise a retired FBI agent who's now in cybersecurity on his yacht in Santa Monica. That was pretty cool. So, a couple of like big events have happened in my life, but at the same time, like none of it means anything, right? Because in the Bible, we're called to render useful service to our fellow man. And like a couple weeks back, a guy came up to me in the gym, and he was like fangirling. He had his girlfriend to take a picture of us together, and he's like, I knew it was you, man, but I wasn't gonna come up and talk to you. But then my girlfriend convinced me to come talk to you, like fangirling about how he's I did my tech company was around flow arts, right, gloving and stuff, and I did flow lives on TikTok for almost 3 years straight, or 2.5 years. And he was like, dude, I've been tapped into your flow lives for so long. And I sat him down and I was like, hey man, brother, look, we're both in the gym right now. Like, we're both normal people. Just because I have a big number behind my name on internet platforms doesn't mean anything, bro. I'm a regular guy, just as you are. I might know a few more things about specialized areas of knowledge, but that's about it, man. Like, we're both human. And so, like, really the only thing that actually matters is if you're rendering useful service to your fellow man. And I believe that's what I'm trying to do here with this podcast, because I think there's a lot of keys cooked up in this mind here, right? That's why I've accomplished so many things, because I just don't quit. I have perseverance, diligence, and I keep working on stuff. And I've continued to learn through the lessons of my tangible reality, and grown to be better as time went on. So I think I can provide massive value. I also have a mean network of like people that are doing a lot better than me in the world, that I can call them up and get them on this platform, like big heavy hitter names. I'm not going to name drop them right now, but I'm one string connection away from a lot of big A-listers. So, and I've met them and shook their hands. And that's another thing too, right? Like, because I was coming from that basis of like, and how I sat down that guy at the gym, not physically sat down, we were still standing up, but you know when I met A-list celebrities for the first time, I wasn't, ooh, wow, it's crazy. Like, I'm a big fan. Let me take a picture with you. No, it was more of a like, hey, you've done a lot of great things. It's really awesome. Like, tell me about your process. Like, what were some of the tribulations you dealt with? What are some lessons you might have for someone that's a 6-year entrepreneur now, and I'm building this thing, and I'm trying to, these are some of the roadblocks I'm dealing with now. And the tonality in their face, like their body language shifted completely, because they were like, wait, this person's not treating me like a celebrity. They're trying to seek mentorship through me, because they recognize I'm just another individual that's purpose driven, that's just further along the process of actualizing my dreams than they are. So they know they can learn something from me. Completely shifted the dynamic. And that's how it should be, man. You nobody is physically, mentally, spiritually better than anybody else. Okay, we're just in different processes at different parts of our process. So that's it. So I think I can provide a lot of value here. I'm really just a guy that wants to do right by God, live righteously, and render useful service to the world. In doing that, by actualizing my passions and hobbies. And so that's what we're gonna do. And this was episode one. I think we mostly stayed on track mentally. Um, yeah, I'll be real honest, guys. Also, like, this doesn't really need to be that formal. It's kind of awkward. Like, every podcast I've ever guest featured on, like, there's been a podcast interviewer that's asking me questions, and then we're having a back and forth dialogue of communication. It's not. I'm staring at a camera. I'm in a house all by myself, so it's it's different, but I'll get there, right? Obviously, it's no different than making a YouTube video. It is different though, because YouTube videos are like short form. and I have a script, and I can do cuts and breaks, and this is all just smooth flowing. Keep going, one take, one take wonders over here. That kind of rhymed, right? No, but all right. I think my tism's pinging, right? I'm just kidding, guys. Honestly, I'll be surprised if I make it to 100 episodes without getting canceled because I might say something that's just insensitive to somebody. It's just let me be me, man. I'm on my own podcast here. I got to show my personality, okay? So yeah, we're going to render useful service here by providing value. I already have two other episodes that have been previously filmed before this one, both audio only, no video. This one's going to go up on YouTube. We won't break down the whole social strategy of how I'm going to use this to build brand, but I will explain that in a future pod because I think it's valuable for building personal brands. And, the whole philosophy, why in 2018 I started all this was because, I mean, not the e-commerce, but like the branding and becoming a media personality was because I listened to Gary Vee a lot, and he was like, dude, you got to jab, 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 right hook. You got to provide value, provide value, provide value. Even if you suck right now, you just got to document everything because when you don't suck in the future, all this documenting stuff's going to be awesome come the future. So you'll have that to look back on. And I was like, wow, that's super cool. And since then, I've met Gary 4 times. So yeah, that was like, you know, context to that was not fantastic. But anyways, we're dragging. I love you guys. This is probably going to get not that many views, and I'm really not even concerned about the views. I don't care about output at all. Another little, I guess we are dropping a few little nuggets in here for the hero's journey, right? If you want to be successful in life, no matter what you're pursuing, whether that's something digital, but it doesn't even matter. Any process of bettering yourself through a service-based business or a knowledge-based business or whatever it is, you're doing anything, you need to not care about output and only care about input, right? Like, I put this out, boom, I put it out. That's a success. How many views it gets after that, likes, engagement, comments, whatever, all that, outside of my control. Don't worry about it. Post another one. Post another one. Get 100 episodes. Get 1,000 episodes. Don't worry about, oh, are people liking it, man? No, don't. It doesn't matter. Okay, I don't really care about output. I'll share this on my current mediums, and whoever wants to watch it will watch it, and we'll go from there slowly but surely. Maybe I could record an episode a day, and quick maths, we could get close to the 100 episode goal for 2024, even though I procrastinated all the way to the end of the ninth month of the year. Isn't that insane? Like, also another thing that I really want added here in the first episode. Did you know, statistically speaking, to get into the top 10% of podcasts, you only need to post 4 episodes publicly? The bottom 90% of podcasts never make it to episode 4, which is why I've already recorded several episodes, because when I drop, I'm immediately dropping with 5 episodes. That way I'm already ripping. I'm already in there. I'm already on the docket. So that's episode 1, a little intro and touch into me. We're going to talk about a lot of crazy stuff here. Subscribe if you want to subscribe. Don't subscribe if you don't want to subscribe. I don't care. That's not within my control. Input's not output focused. I love you. Peace.